What if I told you that the secret to ending those sharp, agonizing leg cramps that wake you up in the middle of the night isn't a pill, a spray, or a painful stretch? What if the solution actually starts at 4 o'clock in the afternoon with just one glass of water and a tiny kitchen staple? If you've ever been jolted awake by a muscle knotting up in your calf or foot, you know the feeling. It's a sudden, white-hot pain that leaves you limping for the rest of the night. As we cross into our 60s and 70s, our muscles become more sensitive to mineral shifts. We're told to stay hydrated, so we drink a gallon of water right before bed, only to spend the whole night running to the bathroom instead of sleeping. It's frustrating, and it leaves you exhausted. Here is the secret mechanism why your 2 a.m. cramp is a 4 p.m. mistake. Most people treat hydration like a simple math equation. Pour water in, stay hydrated. But your body doesn't work like a bucket. It works like a complex biological sponge. There is a critical science to this that most people completely miss, leading to those agonizing midnight leg cramps and restless nights. Your muscles don't just need water to be present in your system. They need cellular absorption. Here's the reality of microdehydration. By the time you feel that sharp, electric bolt of a cramp at 2 a.m., you aren't just thirsty, your body is already in a state of microdehydration. This is a physiological red zone where the fluid levels inside your muscle cells have dropped so low that the electrical signals between your brain and your limbs begin to short circuit. The biggest mistake, trying to fix it right before bed. If you chug a liter of water at 10 p.m., that water doesn't have time to reach your muscle fibers. Instead, it sits in your bladder, forcing you to wake up to use the bathroom, which further disrupts your sleep cycle and recovery. The 4 p.m. window strategy. The key to breaking this cycle is what experts call the 4 p.m. window. Around this time, your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm, begins its evening shift. Your circulation starts shifting its priority from high-energy output to internal repair and waste removal. By saturating your system at 4 p.m., you are giving your blood a 4 to 6 hour head start to transport those essential electrolytes and water molecules into the deep tissues. By the time you hit the pillow, the hydration is already locked into the cells, not just floating in your stomach. Stop hydrating for the moment. Start hydrating for the repair cycle. When you win the afternoon, you eliminate the midnight pain. The 1 spoon solution, the mineral key to deep hydration. If water is the fuel for your body, minerals are the spark plugs. Drinking plain, filtered water, while seemingly healthy, can often be counterproductive. If your goal is to stop muscle cramps, pure water, especially distilled or highly purified types, can actually wash out the existing minerals in your bloodstream, leaving your muscles even more prone to spasms. This is where the EverGold routine changes the game. The science of osmosis. At 4 p.m. exactly, you need to perform a simple act of biological engineering. Take 1 tall glass of room temperature water, add 1 small pinch, just a tiny spoonful, using the very tip of a teaspoon of high-quality sea salt or Celtic salt. Stir it until it completely disappears. You might worry about the taste, but at this concentration, it won't make the water salty. Instead, it creates an isotonic environment. In biology, water follows salt. When you drink plain water, your kidneys often filter it out immediately. But when you add those trace minerals, magnesium, potassium, and sodium, they act like a key that unlocks the microscopic gates of your muscle cells. This allows the water to actually cross the cellular membrane and enter the tissue where it's needed for repair, rather than just passing straight through you and into your bladder. Why the quality of salt matters. Standard table salt is stripped of its power. It's just sodium chloride. To make this work, you need unrefined sea salt or Celtic salt. These contain over 80 trace minerals that regulate nerve impulses. By drinking this mixture during your 4 p.m. window, you are prepping your body for the night ahead. You aren't just drinking water. You are delivering an internal IV drip to your calf muscles and hamstrings. This ensures that when your body temperature drops during deep sleep, your muscles remain supple and hydrated, effectively locking out the possibility of a 2 a.m. wake-up call from a cramp. The future pace. Reclaim your night and your mobility. Close your eyes for a moment and envision a different kind of evening. Imagine finishing your dinner, winding down, and finally laying your head on the pillow. As you stretch out under the covers, you notice something profoundly different. Your legs feel heavy, cool, and completely relaxed. The usual tightness in your ankles is gone. That familiar, restless twitch in your calvesta, one that usually signals a looming disaster's nowhere to be found. The end of the midnight electric shock. Imagine sleeping through the entire night in one continuous, deep cycle. No more waking up at 2 a.m. in a cold sweat, scrambling to stand up on a cold floor because of a sudden electric shock, or a literal knot of muscle in your calf. You are no longer a prisoner to the fear of a sudden spasm. Instead, your body remains in a state of total cellular tranquility because you provided the keys it needed at 4 p.m. You've successfully moved from a state of constant emergency repair to a state of deep, restorative maintenance. A morning without the hangover. When the sun comes up, you don't roll out of bed feeling stiff or limping on a sore muscle that was overworked by a cramp the night before. You wake up feeling genuinely refreshed. Your legs feel bouncy, fluid, and ready for a brisk morning walk or a session in the garden. The best part, you didn't have to rely on expensive sleep aids, harsh chemical relaxants, or over-the-counter painkillers that take a toll on your liver. You achieved this simply by understanding the biological rhythm of your own body and using a single pinch of nature's minerals. This isn't just about stopping a cramp. It's about reclaiming your freedom of movement and the quality of your rest. You are now in control of your body's recovery, one afternoon glass at a time.